Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. If you're just joining us, hello. So, joining me right now is Paul Jupe. Hey, Paul, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you very much, Kayden. Thank you very much for inviting me to the show.
You're very welcome. So, kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into music.
I started music when I was, or started learning guitar when I was 14 years old, which is a few years ago now. And basically, I only started playing because my brother borrowed a guitar off his friend, my older brother Gary, and he wanted the guitar back after a while, so I carried on playing just to kind of. It was a bit of a no, you're not having it back. I'm going to carry on playing. So that's what's carried me playing on really. And then basically I just joined local bands around on the south coast of England, which is where I'm based, and just kind of sort of made my way up through the ranks. Started touring with musicians that have been doing a bit like an apprenticeship, really, doing my apprenticeship in music. And then started moving across to doing sort of online and sort of a bit of session playing and touring internationally and writing for TV and film, doing some instrumentals and things. But country's where my heart's at, country rock. So that's what I really love doing.
That's amazing. And what do you most enjoy about music, Paul?
Most enjoy about music. I think, well, it's hard to say really. It's just everything. You can lose yourself in music, playing guitar. When you're in front of an audience. I knew from, I used to go and see bands like AC/DC and Thin Lizzy. That's where my roots come from. And I just remember seeing them and thinking, that's what I want to do. So I started playing all their songs and things and doing that sort of stuff. And then when I finally got in front of the crowd and, you started getting responses and you're playing and everything, it's just a wonderful feeling. You can't beat it. So it's like, it's in your blood and you've just got to do it.
If you could duet or do a collaboration with any singer, who would you choose and why?
That's a difficult one actually, because there's so many, but I think I would do a collaboration with Keith Urban. He's the one that inspired me. As I say, I come from a rock background, really. I grew up with country music. So my father used to play Jim Reeves and Glenn Campbell, and all they were always on the Sunday lunchtime. So country music's always been there. But it was when I heard Keith Urban, Somebody Like You, that I thought, hang on a minute, I can do the rock and the country that I love as well, and try and mix the two, which is, and Keith Urban's just great. So yeah, I'd love to do a sort of a collaboration with him.
And what does a typical day look like for you?
Typical day, I actually work as well. I've gone in and out from touring and then going back to work and so on and so on. I actually work on a farm, believe it or not. So my typical day is getting up and working with the cows or in the fields, driving tractors and stuff. But also on the music side, I'm constantly promoting and writing, trying to get my album out for early January. I've got 11 songs. I've released 8 singles so far. So as soon as I finish the job or whatever, the weekends and that, I'm straight into the music again, and preparing to get that all laid down, ready to release.
Mm-hmm. And is that the new single that's coming up that we can look forward to?
Yeah, well, I've got a new single coming out on October the 30th, and it's on iTunes, it's on all the download sites and streaming sites. There is a pre-save if you should wish to pre-save it. It would be many thanks for that if you do. Really appreciate that. And it's called My Friends Are Talking, and it's another country rock song. It's had some plays over here, and it's going to continue to have plays in the UK and that lot. So yeah, if you do hear it and listen to it, thank you very much, and I hope you like it.
What do you like doing outside of music?
Outside of music, gardening. I love gardening. It's another form of being creative for me. I love grow the colors and designing and stuff like that. So it's another form of getting away from the hustle and the bustle of everything. So yeah, definitely gardening.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And what is one message that you would like to give your fans or anyone listening?
The message is that the support that I've been playing in bands and writing for bands for many, many years, and touring and writing and touring and all that sort of thing. And my first solo project started. This project started in June 2020 during the lockdown, and it was the first time I thought, well, I'm going to go out on my own and test the water and see what it's like. So I think my message to my fans would be around the world, all the fans that have downloaded my music, listened to it, sent me messages, all the radio stations that are playing, like yourself, that are interviewing me playing music. Thank you so much. It means everything to me. As I say, I've gone out solo, so to have this sort of response and have the people following you is just priceless. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I'm trying to, as I say, I'm releasing the album in January. I've just won an award in Holland, the Red Carpet Awards for Fair Play Country Music. So I'm going to try and release the album, get that out there, continue to carry on doing live shows. I've picked it up a bit more in 2021, as everybody has. But next year, I'd like to be able a lot more festivals, a lot more traveling, and just getting the word out there, really, and getting back to basics and playing live a lot more, which is what I love doing.
What do you think you would be doing now if it wasn't for music?
Someone asked that for a while back, actually. It's a really, really difficult question because I just can't imagine that, a life without music, to be honest with you. But back to the gardening again, I think it would probably be something to do with the designing of gardens and that type of thing, something creative along those lines.
Mm-hmm. And have you ever participated in any music competitions?
Not competitions, such a sort of battle of the bands and things like that. We're not on my early those sort of things, and obviously the award ceremonies and things like that. To the one that I've just won in Holland. So yes, I have over the years quite a few and things like that. And it's been great fun, really. A lot of the people you're on the competitions with, and it's backstage and things like that. It's just great fun.
What is the best piece of advice another musician has ever given you, Paul?
I think it's just to, it's not over till it's over, really. I think actually, you just keep doing what you do, be, loyal to yourself and your music. Don't change it or anything. Be what you are, and just, if people like it, then that's brilliant, and hopefully they do. So that's great.
Do you have a favorite song that you have released, and if so, what would the song that you would choose?
Oh, that's a tricky one too. Some hard questions here, Kayden. I think it's got to be "Late Night by the River" is one of my favourite songs. It's kind of got a bit of a rocky bluesy feel to it, and I really like the feel to that song.
Mm-hmm. And where can people find you on social media, Paul?
I'm all over as I say, streaming sites and things like that. YouTube, Facebook, all the social media sites. There's Paul Jupe Music. So any of those sites, please come along and join the groups. I have a group, Paul Jupe Music Group. It'd be lovely to see any of you there, as I must say. And thank you for your support, everyone.
Mm-hmm. And if you could go open a show for any artist, who would you choose and why?
Oh, it'll have to be a toss-up between Shania Twain or Keith Urban again. Mm-hmm. It'd have to be. So I'll have to pick one, so it's going to have to be Keith Urban. But Shania Twain, but that would be wonderful.
Those two are pretty good, let me tell you. They have some good voices.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, have you done any touring, like internationally, nationally? Where have you been?
I've toured. I wrote a kind of rock album about 8 years ago, and went over to Brazil and did a tour out there, released it, and did a few shows out there. And we were out there for 3 weeks, and it was just amazing, to be out there and playing your music and people knowing your songs and just coming to your shows, which was fantastic. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, is there anything else that I forgot that you'd like to share before we go?
Not really, just that I'm releasing the album, as I said, in January 2020, so please look out for it. And I've said before, thank you so much for supporting me, everyone. I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. So thank you.
You're very welcome. And once again, I'd like to thank Paul for joining us right here on the Kayden Gordon Show, today's Best Country Mix. We appreciate your time to talk to us today, Paul.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me on.